Hello, YouTube and the One Piece nerds of the nations and the world. Welcome. So, as of chapter 1044, there's been some recent controversy and some arguments about whether or not there's some sort of a plot hole. What am I talking about? Well, the specific panel I'm talking about is when the Gorosei are discussing the Gomu Gomu no Mi and said that that the fruit has been escaping them for the past 800 years. So, and well, going after enraging Kaido is a better alternative than letting Luffy escape. So from that from that thing, it's been argued that why hasn't the world government given everything they had to get after the Straw Hat, to get at the Luffy and the Gomu Gomu no Mi? Well, if you think about it, it's pretty obvious. It's not a plot hole really. So where do we start? We start after Alabasta. After Alabasta is where the world government had decided that no, Luffy is no ordinary pirate. He's a little bit above a rookie. He got to 30 million somehow by beating everyone in the East Blue, and now he's in the Grand Line with the bounty of 100 million. So that's when the world government started to peak in interest in Luffy and his fruit. So Alabasta's done. Luffy and the gang go to Jaya, at which point his bounty turns 100 million. He defeats Bellamy and goes to Sky Island. At which point the world government really can't chase after Luffy because he's not in the lower realm anymore. My bad on the pronunciation. You can see it's pretty hard to speak English. Anyways, so they go to Skypiea, at which point the world government has no trace of where they are, thus leading us to the next point, which is Water 7. Before Water 7 in Long Ring, Long Land, we see Aokiji meet up with the Straw Hats to capture Nico Robin. But for Aokiji's character, the way he is and the way he runs his sense of justice, he lets them escape. He lets them escape, and we don't know the whole spiel, but we know that Aokiji is sort of on the good side. He's not purely evil like Akainu when it comes to justice. So he let the Straw Hats escape. That was a warning sign for Robin to understand the world government is after you, and you have to sort of let go of the Straw Hats. Fast forward to Water 7 and Eni's lobby. CP9 comes into play, and now they're concerned with Nico Robin's escape from Baroque Works, and she's a target and she's a threat. So we see CP9 capture Nico Robin. We see the Straw Hats go to water. We see the Straw Hats go to Eni's lobby. We see the Straw Hats go to Eni's lobby to rescue Nico Robin, and no one in the world government is sort of expected Luffy and the gang to escape after fighting Rob Lucci and everyone else. But as it so happens, Luffy was strong enough to defeat the CP9, and so are the Straw Hats. And then we have the Buster Call. The Buster Call. Okay, this is a point where I would start to think that okay, maybe the world government sort of underestimated Luffy and the gang, so they only sent Vice Admiral as per the sort of requirements for a Buster Call. There's, I think, a lot of captains and a few vice admirals, no admirals. But so that's what happened, and well, Luffy and the gang escaped. And considering, okay, I'll give the world government a little bit of benefit of the doubt because look, at the point when the Buster Call was made, well, the world government knew it was the Straw Hats, and they knew they were in a half-beaten state. They didn't expect the Straw Hats to escape 4 vice admirals, which is completely unrealistic for any other pirate crew. But as it so happens, they do. They escape Annie's lobby. They go to Water 7. They meet up with Garp. Unlucky again that you send Garp, the grandfather of Luffy, to chase after Luffy. As it so happens, Garp lets them escape. That's another chance gone. Moving on. Then we got the whole situation with Luffy going into Thriller Bark. And in Thriller Bark, the world government has no sort of note of where it is, and they wouldn't want to go there to capture Straw Hats. They were looking for them, definitely, obviously, considering now he has a bounty of 300 million berries, but they couldn't find him in Thriller Bark. Fast forward to Thriller Bark, we move to Sabaudi Archipelago, where the world government actually tries their hardest to go after Luffy. As it so happens, the warlord they sent to capture the Straw Hats, or to make them disappear from the face of the earth, was Bartholomew Kuma. We've seen in Thriller Bark that Kuma comes and then sort of doesn't do anything to Luffy and his crew because Kuma was or is a revolutionary army, knows Dragon and his son and everything. Very unlucky from the world government's perspective. The same could be said for Sabaudi Archipelago, but we see Kizaru. Fortunately for the Straw Hats, really was there to stop Kizaru, by which point Kuma has separated every single one of the Straw Hats and sent them to very remote locations where the world government cannot track them down. That is again unlucky on the part of the world government. We move to Impel Down. He infiltrates Impel Down with the help of Boa Hancock. And when the guards realize that Luffy is there and the world government knows that Luffy is there, no one expected Luffy to escape. Like, in reality, no one expected Luffy to escape because he had no help, he had no connections as of that point, and no one in reality has escaped Impel Down other than Shiki, from what they know. So, moving on from that, he managed to make allies and escape with the help of Blackbeard pirates infiltrating Impel Down, at which point they wanted to get out and go save Ace in Marineford. So Luffy escapes Impel Down without much of a harm. Then we move to Marineford, where everyone's busy trying to sort of kill Ace and sort of, keep the Whitebeard pirates at bay. Luffy is not the center of attention, although he is. And what we see from there is he gets help. The same as before, he gets help and he rescues Ace. But before that, admirals were going after him. But the admiral who went after him was Aokiji. And then again, we get to figure out that Aokiji had a debt to Garp and he didn't want to kill his grandson. That's how Luffy survived and rescued Ace. And when Akainu actually targeted Luffy, he ended up decapitating Ace. So that's a sad. That's half a win for the world government, sure. Then they still try to go after Luffy. Akainu still tries to go after Luffy, at which point the white remnants of the Whitebeard pirates, like Marco, Jozu, and everyone else, even Jinbei, try to protect Luffy, and, well, Luffy escapes. Shanks stops the war. Luffy is then saved. Then we move on to the time skip, at which the 2-year mark where no one of the Straw Hats were seen in action doing anything, pirate-like thing. So everyone expected the Straw Hats to sort of disappear out of nowhere. And even if they were trying to looking for him, they wouldn't have been able to put it there all because Marineford was destroyed and they didn't have much of their forces well combined, and they had other things to take care of. So that justifies the 2-year time skip. At which point they returned to Sabaudi Archipelago. They send pacifistas, but Luffy and the other guys are stronger, so they take care of pacifistas and move on to Fishman Island. Government has no territory there. They wouldn't want to go into Fishman Island to take care of the Straw Hats. Then we move to Punk Hazard. We moved to Punk Hazard where G5 was there. There was a possibility for the world government to take notice and capture Luffy, but unfortunately the person in charge is Smoker, who met Luffy in Alabasta and has respect for him, and they had to take care of Shija Clown. And we had Law, doing all whatever he does with his Abenomi. So that is also a no-brainer. Smoker lets them escape because it was a combined thing, and Smoker now has a respect for Luffy and whatnot. We moved to Dressrosa, and Dressrosa was another place where Luffy could have been captured, but we had Fujitora as the admiral, which means he was blind. He knew Luffy at heart is a very good person, but because of him being in the world government, he couldn't actually help him directly to take down the warlord. Luffy takes down the warlord. Fujitora is in debt to the Straw Hat crew and to the citizens of Dressrosa, and everyone was in support of Luffy and the others because they took down Doflamingo. And Fujitora lets them escape. At which point they arrive at Zou, where no world government ship has been able to go. Fast forward. from Zo, we go over to Big Mom Pirates. So, again, severely underestimating Luffy. At points where Luffy was actually targeted by the world government, the wrong people were sent to capture Luffy, and when he went into a place where he didn't sort of statistically and logically wasn't supposed to survive, he does. That's the Big Mom Pirates. Uh, the world government sort of expected Big Mom Pirates to take care of Luffy all by herself, but that wasn't the case. Moving to Wano. It's the same case again, where the world government didn't expect Luffy to survive all that time in Wano. Sort of expected Kaido to take care of the mess, and Big Mom. So the war happened, Kaido, Big Mom fighting Luffy, at which point they realized, no, we cannot take chances, we have to strike now. And so they do, and well, they still managed to fail to capture or kill Luffy. Now, moving to the argument that they didn't want to kill Luffy because it would awaken the Gomu Gomu no Mi and turn it into the Nika fruit, or whatever you call it. That is a wrong assumption, because if it was actually that, after Alabasta, if the Gorosei actually knew about the Gomu Gomu no Mi's true powers, they would have said only alive, just like Sanji. That didn't happen, which means death doesn't necessarily cause the fruit to awaken. Maybe there are some other criterias that the world government didn't know about, or sort of Luffy and no one had no idea, but like, it's not death that's the criteria to awaken the fruit, it's something else. So, right now, it can be seen that the world government was right. It's a zone, it has a will of its own, and it's trying to escape the world government. From the past records we've seen ever since Alabasta till now, somehow, one way or the other, due to the incompetence of the world government and severely underestimating Luffy and sort of taking their chances, which they missed at, can be seen that the Gomu Gomu no Mi cannot be captured due to multiple different reasons. Now, one point at which I want to argue that the world government could have gone after them properly was immediately at Eni's lobby. Going back to Water 7, before sending in Garp, they could have sent someone else, but I think they had too much on their plate since they were preparing for the execution of Ace and Whitebeard and whatnot. That happened, so I think they didn't have much time to take care of that. So they sent Garp, but that also didn't happen. So, from what it seems, world government gave their best, but fortunately for Luffy, every one of the people that were sent to kill him couldn't kill him due to connections and due to the relationship that Luffy has built with the Marines and his luck and everything. I think that justifies the whole plot, and I think there is no plot holes there at all, and that is most of the video. The last point which I want to end at is the fact that everyone's arguing that if the Gomu Gomu no Mi was actually the Hito no Mi model Nika, why so the Gomu Gomu no Mi doesn't actually exist, is what you guys are pointing at. So that's not actually true. So the fruit names in the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia comes definitely from the world government, because they wouldn't want certain devil fruits to sort of get their original identity so people would be looking for them. So I think the world government is in charge of looking at the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia, and they themselves renamed the Gomu Gomu no Mi as it is now, and I think that happened a long time back, which makes sense as of why this generation of the Gorosei has no idea about. And it was considered a legend, they didn't think it would happen, but it did, and which is unlucky for the world government, and that's how it justifies everything from start to finish of why the fruit wasn't captured in the first place, ever since the last 3 years, or whatever. That is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and there are a few things that Oda hasn't sort of clarified at this point, but I want you guys to have patience and believe in Oda that it won't be a plot hole, it won't be a mess up, it'll be something very unique, and it'll be something very justifiable at some point in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, see ya.